All right, so many thanks for staying with us. It's now time for us to enjoy some business. And don't you forget that it's still live on Midday Live. My name is Kweku Timin. Time for us to get some latest updates. And if you are in the salt industry, then this could be good times for you. Let me share the story of Adan with you, as officials of the Adan Songo Salt Project have projected increased salt producing from around 65,000 metric tons. Now, get the figure, 65,000 metric tons to 1 million metric tons. Now you can peg the projections. The wholly owned government project needs urgent rehabilitation. Another report from my colleague Josephine Frimpong.
The Adan Songo Salt Project is among a few salt companies on large scale. Management has changed hands several times until government took over. With 20 crystallization pans, salt is mined with the use of seawater to derive sodium chloride. Foreign materials and other 7 salt contents in seawater is run out. After mining salt for several decades, operations here are still done manually. Salts are heaped for months and stored for the lean season during the raining periods. Nearly 80% of salt are sold to buyers in neighboring countries, whilst 30% goes into the local market. But work on the field for over 500 workers is very strenuous. They live on 45 pesos per bag. Current production capacity stands at 65,000 metric tons, which is expected to increase. Revamping the business and refurbishing the old defaced structure will make operation more viable.
All right, so let's do other stories. And here, the people of Nobuem in the Ashanti region are complaining about poor yield in rice plantation owing to the unavailability of plantain and irrigation machinery. Well, they are asking government to intervene to improve their yield. Ibrahim Abubakar has the details of the story.
Rice production is the main occupation of about 90% of the people of Nobuem. The 140-hectare rice plantation, which was started in 1992, used to be a very profitable venture. Farmers could harvest about 50 bags of rice on each hectare 3 times a year. But rice yield is currently being faced with dwindling fortunes. Out of the 140 hectares of land, farmers only cultivate 40 hectares due to unavailability of enough water to irrigate the whole land. The water delivery system, according to the farmers, has been broken down for the past 5 years, forcing them to rely on rainfall. Aside water, the farmers said farming has become labor-intensive as there isn't enough machines to help process the rice after harvest. The extension officer of the Nobuem rice production, Stephen Akori, also complained about fertilizer and other machinery challenges.
Rice is a heavy feeder, although government is not giving a subsidized fertilizer, but the cost is still big. So instead of buying in bags, they buy in smaller quantities, and then they are not giving enough to their crops.
Farmers are therefore appealing to government and other philanthropists to assist them with modern equipment to boost production and enhance the business.
Definitely an issue to be critically looked at, but we'll move away from the agri sector and look at lands in the country. Well, just about a short while ago, we were talking about it on What Do You Think? But let's just critically look at lands to mining. Now, the Ashanti Achim North Municipality is targeting to reclaim over 100 hectares of land lost to illegal mining. The Municipal Assembly is planning to use lands for rice cultivation. A report once again by Ibrahim Abubakar.
Illegal mining, popularly referred to as galamsey, has bedeviled most communities blessed with gold deposits. Aside degrading the land, the operators do not cover the mining pit after extracting their gold, resulting in the loss of lives of people who accidentally fall into such pits. Residents say uncovered galamsey pits in the Nobuem community of the Ashanti Achim North District alone have claimed more than 7 lives in 10 months. To prevent more debts and reclaim the degraded Galamsey areas, the Asante Achim North Municipality has come into a consensus with some Galamsey operators to cover all the uncovered pits. Among the degraded areas include 100-hectare Nobuim rice production land. Some farmers involved in the rice plantation project bemoaned the effects of Galamsey activity on the plantation.
It has reduced the landholding of the area. Production too has gone down. We now have a lot of farmers who don't have any place to cultivate rice.
Even as the reclamation of the degraded area was ongoing, several other operators were still in the bush going about their Galamsey activities. Galamsey operator John Owusu claimed even though Galamsey is illegal, it's an avenue for jobs for the youth. The reclamation exercise is expected to be completed by the end of February this year.
Well, away from illegal mining, let's just look at something from our world of banking. And here, management of Merchant Bank says it is re-strategizing to revamp operations to make the bank competitive. New Managing Director Nila Selome says the bank will open new branches and expand its ATM services.
Last year was a challenging one for Merchant Bank. Management agree there is an urgent need to refresh and reawaken the brand. It promises to use proficient human and other resources to deliver professional banking services to meet customer needs.
We're bringing on board hopefully a breath of fresh air, ideas that will hopefully catapult Merchant Bank into the future, ideas that will also probably reinstate Merchant Bank to what it was before. We need to have the right footprint in terms of branches, we need to have the right products. We need to have the right attitude, the right culture. We need to be able to serve our customers in a way that makes them feel that they are king in our midst.
The branch network of Merchant Bank currently stands at 21 and have plans to extend services to the northern and Brong-Ahafo regions.
We are going to invest in training. We're going to bring the staff up so that they can give the right levels of service. But over and above that, we're going to have the right infrastructure to support the delivery of the sorts of products and services we want to bring on board.
I can see excitement on the face of the workers, but let's just also talk about the debt of Merchant Bank and how they are looking at, well, getting the debt recouped, as Merchant Bank is to roll out a loan repayment scheme beginning January 13, probably today, to go after its major debtors. Now, in an exclusive interview with TV3, once again, Nina Selome told TV3 the new management is bent on recovering huge loans owed the company.
Merchant Bank has been making losses in the recent past as the company failed to retrieve monies owned by debtors. This, according to the management of SNIT, necessitated its sale to Fortis Private Equity Fund. The major debtor of Merchant Bank, Engineers and Planners, is yet to settle its debt after taking a loan. New Managing Director of the bank, Nila Selome, hinted in an exclusive interview with TV3 that management intends to retrieve all debts beginning January 13.
Bad debts are not good for any company. All you are saying is you have taken people's hard-earned money and you have decided to use it how you will, and you won't repay those funds. We will relentlessly go after those defaulters. I'll ask Ghanaians to rally behind us so that we can make this a success. If it works for us as Merchant Bank, it works for us as Ghanaians as well. You know, we need to show the world that Ghanaians are capable of growing their own businesses.
A new scheme would identify all debtors and retrieve loans to enable the company survive.
Shortly, you will see the strategy we've put in place. We will be rolling that. If you keep your eyes to the newspapers, you will see from next week that we will start making some good effort towards getting those debts paid back.
Nila Selome made the statement at the gathering to interact with management, shareholders, the board and workers.
All right, maybe great times for Merchant Bank. That will do for business. But within the day, we'll talk more about business issues on Business Focus. And then later tonight on News 360, we'll bring you all the updates that you need to know from our local front. Well, don't you forget that Midday Live is not over yet. We're coming with some more stories. Do stay with us.